We on. What's going on, world? You know who it is. It's your boy Mike on Up and Coming Show Breaking Bread. As you can see, I'm by myself. My usual co-host, had some unexpected business to handle, so he may be able to jump on or not. Who knows? But as you can see in the background, I finally got my green screen, so I'm hyped, happy, excited as a motherfucker. But as you can see in the background, my social media. This is my Twitter account. I just created the account. So what I'm gonna do from this point forward is, all of my social media, I'm gonna have in the background. So in case you guys want to follow, so I don't gotta like say it 50 million times. But on this episode, we're gonna be talking about. It's gonna be actual episode, actually 2028. Yeah, sorry. We're going to talk about the division of parents, you know, and how hard it is for a man, well, some men that want to be in their children's lives. So basically, I just feel, in my personal experiences and what I've been seeing, that, the division between a mother and a father of a child, like I feel like it's, a pandemic, if you want to call it that, figuratively speaking. That's been going on for a while, for the simple fact of the system makes it easier in a sense, financially wise for a female. So I feel that, having that thought in a female's head that doesn't actually get along, with their child's father. Oh, so you're telling me that, I don't gotta be with this guy and I can take him for child support and I can do all of this stuff and you guys will give me free healthcare, if applicable, and I feel like in a sense that's not good because I feel like, when you have a child with somebody, it's like before you even take it that far, you have to make sure this is the person that you want to be with because there are a lot of children out there that grow up, with either a mother or a father not being in their lives. And I feel having both parents plays a very, very good part in the upbringing of a child, because I feel like a father alone can't just show a child everything, and a woman alone can't just show a child everything. I feel like the two parents need to be together to raise that child right. You know, it's a lot of weblock going on. Where it's just sad. Like I feel like it shouldn't be so easy for a woman to put a man on child support. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like in a sense they should have proof of basically saying, look, I'm a single father parent and the mother's not doing anything, or vice versa. It's just so easy for a parent, a single parent, to go to the courts and just say, hey, I want to put the other parent on child support. Then boom, it happens like that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like in a sense that's not fair. That's not fair at all because it's like there are actually, some men out there, a very, 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 very small percentage that actually want to be a part of their children's lives. And sometimes the other parent, you know, uses that as ammo, as reasoning to, cause conflict, and I never really understood that. I'm not trying to sit up here and degrade women at all. So women that are watching this, please don't take this the wrong way because I'm not trying to do that. But I feel that there are some women out there that use the child as a pawn. You know what I mean? Use the child as an excuse to drive the other parent crazy. And it's like I never really understood that. But then, like I said before earlier, that the system makes it so easy. So while the system is doing that, it's creating division in the community. And most of the time, it's usually minorities. I mean, you have people all around the world. It doesn't matter the race. You could be white, black, pink, purple. But I feel it's really hitting the urban community because there are a lot of children, being born out of wedlock. A lot of people that are not being married. Because for multiple reasons. Like I said before, the main one is the system making it so easy, and also not taking time to get to know the person that you're dealing with, because it's like people nowadays will see somebody and be like, oh, 6 months ago by, oh, I'm in love. How can you really be in love with somebody in 6 months? How much can you really know from a person in 6 months? I feel like, not saying it can't happen, it's possible, but let's just be realistic. Like, I feel like it should take at least a year for you, being with somebody to learn some stuff about them, to figure out if this is a person you want to be with. Because at the end of the day, when you have a child, it's about that child, period. It's not about how you feel about the mother or how you feel about the father. It's strictly about the child, period. Because I'm a prime example. I'm not going to sit up here and say I'm a bad person. Maybe I was a bad person back then. I'm trying to be better, but I just feel, and on my personal experience, that maybe if my mother and father would have stayed together, some things could have changed. If my mother and father learned to be a unit for the sake of me, maybe some things could be different. Because it's not fair to the child. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair to the child at all. Where's mommy or where's daddy? Like, what do you really say to them? You know, like, what can you possibly really say to them? And I just feel that we just have to look at the big picture, because there's strength in unity. You know, when we're a unit, we're strong, and that's the only way we can overcome this BS. You know, that's why if we learn to overcome that, it would be more husbands and wives instead of baby mama or baby fathers, because it's crazy. And I just feel certain women take it to an extremity, because us as men, we already have that stereotype of being deadbeats. Oh, he had a baby with me and he ran away, and oh, F him, or whatever you want to call it. So it's like there's a very small percentage of men that actually want to be a part of their children's lives. But the cost of that is your personal sanity, because let's just be realistic. In 2020, a lot of minorities don't really have high paying jobs. We're just basically struggling to get by. you know so here you enter a bitter woman. Not all women are bitter women, okay? Please just hear me. Not all of y'all are bitter. I'm just saying from what I've experienced and what I've seen happen, that uh a woman that's bitter or scorned or upset about what happened in their relationship, uses a child as a pawn to drive the man crazy. you know like, for example, like court. Like, I know me personally, like, I don't like this court system at all, period. You know what I'm saying? I believe it's totally biased. I believe the court system is always in the favor of the woman, because for a man to get his child, he has to have like a crazy amount of evidence just to prove the mother is an unfit mother. But all a mother has to do is just say, "Oh, he don't take care of the child." That's it. Okay, boom, bang, put him on child support. Do this, do that, and it's not fair. It's not fair at all. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, what person would really want to jeopardize their sanity? And when I say their sanity, like, let's just say the child, is too young enough to actually, say I want to see daddy, and or too young to make a phone call to speak to their parent. You have to call the mother, talk to the mother. She's screaming at you. You a piece of shit. You're this. You're that. Oh, f you. You can see the baby when you want to, and then it's like, we don't have money as men, don't have an abundance of money to go to court all the time, to get a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. It's just crazy, man. Like I said, once again, I'm not down to women, but it's like, the starters in the beginning, why can't, the two people take the time to get to know each other? You know what I'm saying? Before actually taking to that next step of having a child, because maybe if you'd have took the time to get to know the person you was dealing with, and you'd have realized in your head, like, you know what, maybe this is not the person for me, and part ways. And then when you don't do that and a child is being produced, it makes it harder because now not only do you not want to be with this person, but you have to deal with them because you have a child together, you know? And think about the children, man. Think about that child. Think about what that child is going through, hearing the parents argue, hearing the mother saying, fuck you motherfucker, and hearing the father saying, fuck you stupid bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that, resonates in their head. It stays in their head because they say from the ages of 3 to I believe 7 or 9 is when like their brains are like sponges. So if the child is constantly hearing the mother and the father argue all the time, or cursing each other out, or seeing the father with multiple different women and seeing the mother with multiple different men, that's going to register in their brain and they're going to think, that's what life is. So if you have a son and you are a single mother and you have multiple different men around, your son, what do you think he's going to do? He's going to think, okay, well, mommy had, different men around me, so obviously that's the thing to do. The same thing with a daughter. If you're a single mother or you're a single father, okay, for example, if you're a single mother, you have multiple different men, the daughter's going to think that's what it is. Okay, I'm supposed to talk to different men because I've seen mommy do it, because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it's not a single person being blamed in this situation. It's equal when it comes to the blame. It's equally the woman's fault and it's equally the man's fault. You know what I'm saying? And people don't take the time to realize that all people want to do is, oh, my baby mama ain't shit, oh, my baby daddy ain't shit. Well, if you feel like that person wasn't shit after the baby, did you feel that way before the baby? You know what I'm saying? Like people never really sit down and ask themselves that. They just base it off what they feel at the moment and what they physically see. Because you can physically see a good looking woman or a good looking guy. That doesn't mean that's the person you're supposed to have a baby with. You know what I'm saying? Take the time to get to know them. Don't rush to have sex. I mean, if it happens, it happens, but don't make that the focal point of your relationship. Like, take the sex out of the relationship. You know what I mean? Or look past the looks. Can you see yourself with that woman or can you see yourself with that man? Because at the end of the day, when a child is being produced, it's about that child. Period. Period. And it's sickening seeing all these women talking about how bad men are and all these men talking about how bad women are. When at the end of the day, we minorities. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's not a racial thing, but if you look at uh, the production of children and you look at the people that are not married when they have a child, it's minorities. It's black people, Spanish people. You know what I'm saying? And then having multiple children with different men or multiple children with different women, like, that's not the wave. I'm not knocking it. If it happens, it happens. But it's like at the end of the day, it's like us as adults, we already lived, close to half of our lives already. You know what I'm saying? It's up to us to make sure our children are okay because, when we die, they're on their own. You know what I'm saying? So we have to make sure they have the proper upbringing so we can rest easy in our graves. You know what I'm saying? Because I wish that I could really go back in time and like change a lot of things that I did. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it should be no bashing, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to be a unit. You know, it takes a village to raise a child, man. It takes a team to build a village, man. It's no single work. It shouldn't be that way, period. And it hurts me because it's like I'm just fortunate that I had enough sense to, bounce back from what I was before, because it's like me when I was younger, I was, a very difficult child to raise. My mother was a single parent, my father wasn't around, so it's like I felt like I could, do whatever I want because I didn't have that authority. I mean, my mother was my authority, but that male figure, that male presence in the house to have you like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going on with these kids nowadays. I see these kids 13, 14 years old, with all these different social media accounts, which ain't nothing wrong with that. But it's like, I feel like if you're going to be on social media at that certain age, maybe it's because, you have a group of friends, you talk to them and stuff like that. But if you're 13, 14 years old, talking about fuck this and fuck that and suck my dick and eat my pussy, like, when I was 13, 14 years old, I wasn't talking like that. I mean, I was cursing, don't get it twisted, but I was worried about, getting fly, playing basketball, you know what I'm saying? Being around my friends, being active, being outside. Like, I wasn't, sitting in front of the computer for 4 or 5 hours, tweeting and doing this and doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just real crazy how this world is, man. And it's like, I just wish, us as parents think about the big picture. It's the child, man, because this world we live in is crazy, and kind of off the subject, you know what I'm saying? Like, excuse me, something in my eye. But what happened at the nation's capital, you know, that shit right there was crazy. Completely crazy. For the simple fact of when minorities had the protest for the Black Lives Matter, they had fucking people in full body armor guarding the nation's capital, the national building or whatever you want to call it. But how can a bunch of people that support Trump just storm up in there? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. But we're gonna save that for another podcast. But back to the point. People, people, people. Okay? You have to understand something. The court system is the division of the household. Okay. Well, I'm not going to sit up here and say it's the division of the household, but it contributes to the division of the household because the division of the household starts within the house, you know, and the court system just adds to it. Before you decide to lay down with somebody, before you decide to have sex with somebody without a condom, make sure you know the consequences and this is the person you want to be with because there's too many children in this world that are raised in broken homes. You understand what I'm saying? Us as, the people, we have to change that because we have to understand when we die, our kids are going to be left on this earth, you know? Like I said, as always, I always try to be positive. So this is like, trying to be positive in this podcast. I'm not trying to single out nobody. So females, because I know how females can get. Certain females, all they hear is the bad or see the bad in anything. I'm not doing that. What I'm basically trying to say is think about your child. Okay? Think before you lay down with that man. Men, think before you lay down with that woman because when a child is conceived, it's about that child. And no matter what, there should be no such thing as a single parent because not one parent alone can do it. I don't care what any woman says. Oh, I can do it. Oh, my mother did it. That don't mean shit. That don't mean shit. Okay? Yeah, your mother did it, but your mother struggled. You understand what I'm saying? Because that deadbeat dad or for whatever reason wasn't around. You understand what I'm saying? But it shouldn't be that way. Why can't we have more minority marriages before having birth, before a woman giving birth, basically? I never understood that. You understand? It's mind boggling to me. And like I said, I'm not here to pass judgment because shit, I did that myself. You know what I mean? That's why I'm just trying to spread this awareness to the generation behind us. Okay. So if you have teenage children, make sure you show them, even if mommy and daddy are not together, mommy and daddy are a team. You feel what I'm saying? A child shouldn't be able to go to their mother and say, daddy did this. Or a child shouldn't be able to go to their father and say, mommy did this. And then mommy and daddy are arguing. It shouldn't happen like that, man. I feel, the parenting, needs to be stepped up, period. Because at the end of the day, it's two parents, not one, man. Remember that. And once again, women, I know I keep repeating it, but I'm not, saying anything bad about y'all. But I'm just going to say it like this. If you have a man that wants to be in his child's life, let him be in his child's life. If you don't like him or you don't get along with him, that doesn't mean shit because if you felt that way in the beginning, you should have never laid down with that man and had a baby. Fellas, If you have a woman that's allowing you to be in your child's life and not giving you no strife, take advantage of that, man. Because you have the women out there that will fucking drive you up the fucking wall just to have a fucking visitation for your child. So if you have a woman in your life or a baby mother or an ex-wife or whatever that's willing to let you see your child without no strife, take advantage of that, man. Because I'm telling you, you may not get it now, but as your child gets older, you'll start to see why you should have, you know? But I just want the people to know I appreciate them and I love them and thank you for taking the time to watch this podcast. I know you're used to having me with other people around on the screen, but I just felt like, today just try to do a little solo dolo thing, But this is episode 28 of Breaking Bread. And like I said before, I appreciate all the people that, that been rocking with me. I've been doing this, somewhat for a while, but I'm still a newbie to it. And to all the people in the future that are watching it now, if you're ever interested in doing podcasts with me, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for linking up with different people, learning different things, and creating new relationships. So, as always, spread love, not hate. This is Most Wanted here, and I'm signing off. Peace.